ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to share with you the books I have acquired since the last time I did a book haul video. The great thing about this book haul is that most of these physical books were free, so I'm quite pleased with that. The first book I have to show you is one I'm not sure I've hauled before, but I know you've definitely seen it on this channel, and it is Crest by Marissa Meyer. I was sent this as a gift from my dear friend Katrina over at Little Book Owl. I have already read and reviewed this book, so I will leave a link to that video down below if you want to see that. I will also be participating in a live show on April 12th, and I'll also put the information for that down below. The next book I won in a Twitter giveaway hosted by Random House Teen, and it is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I think I received this towards the end of February. You may recognize this book from my anticipated releases of 2014 video. I was very excited to see I'd won this book. It has a very vague, mysterious synopsis, and it kind of had a Pretty Little Liars vibe to me. It is scheduled to be released on May 13th, and I plan to read it closer to that date. The next book kind of came out of nowhere. I think I may have won it in a Goodreads giveaway, but I seem to have not gotten the email. But it is Mary Coyne by Marissa Silver. This is a historical novel based on the iconic image by Dorothea Lange that you see here. It goes back and forth between the story of the woman depicted in the photograph and the professor who discovers her secrets and stories. The next three books I received from Penguin Teen, and you've probably seen all three of these books around BookTube already, but I'm going to share them with you really quickly anyway. The first two were two that I selected, and the third one was a surprise. The first one is the one that I'm most excited about, and it is The Nethergrim by Matthew Jobin. This is a middle grade fantasy novel set in a world where a vicious beast known as the Nethergrim was believed to be slain years ago by a knight. But whenever livestock and children start going missing, they fear that the Nethergrim has returned. So a group of children, one whose little brother has gone missing, go on a journey to find the Nethergrim and slay him. I have been really interested in fantasy lately, but it's been a really long time since I've read a children's or YA fantasy novel. I think that this book will really hit the spot. The next book is another middle grade book, and it is Under the Egg by Laura Marks Fitzgerald. It is about a little girl who discovers a painting in her grandparents' house that seems to be a valuable painting. The only problem is her grandfather was a security guard at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and she believes it may be stolen. I love art and I love art history, so I thought that this would be a fun little book to pick up and read. And the surprise book was a book that has been getting quite a bit of hype on the internet, and it is Half Bad by Sally Green. It is set in a modern-day London where warring factions of witches live among humans. They are the white witches and the black witches, good and bad witches. And they aren't meant to procreate, but our main character is the product of a white witch and the most evil black witch. He has been imprisoned because of this. He is considered an abomination, and this follows the story of him trying to escape his encapsulment and to find his father, who will give him something that he needs to help aid in his powers. This isn't really something that I would pick up on my own, so I'm not sure when I'll pick this one up. And the last physical book that I have today is the only one that I purchased, and I found it for $1 at a local flea market, and it is Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. My aforementioned interest in fantasy led me to pick up this book. It is the first book in the Sword of Truth series, and it's hard to get a grasp on exactly what the story is about. It seems to be a pretty typical high fantasy series about a young man named Richard Cypher who is trying to take down a evil entity. He is joined by a very strong female character, which was kind of the selling point for this book for me. Again, I don't really know too much more beyond that, but I think that it will be a good fun read. And as I said, this concludes all of the physical books that I purchased in the last month or so. But at the beginning of March, I purchased this. It is a Kindle Paperwhite. I got the itch to get a new e-reader. I already have the Nook Tablet HD, which I really enjoy, but I found that the battery life wasn't super great because I was using it to surf the web and watch videos, so when I'd sit down to read on it, I would usually have to plug it in and charge it. So when I found a great used deal on a Kindle Paperwhite, I picked it up. And because of this and the convenience of buying books off of the Kindle, I have since put on a parental block so that it makes it harder for me to purchase Kindle books, but before that, I purchased quite a few, which I'm going to just list really quickly here. Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher, which,
yes, I do own a physical copy of, but sometimes I like to have ebooks as well.
Stormfront by Jim Butcher, which is the first book in the Dresden Files. Talented by Sophie Davis. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. A Story of Debt by fellow YouTuber Ashley Reardon. The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. The Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. Saga Volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples. And The Prisoner of Heaven by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Goodness, I have a problem. And those are all of the books that I've acquired in the last month or so. If you've read any of those books, please let me know what you thought about them in the comments below. And thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!